very supportive, and you're going to find that not only does she have probably the cutest daughter in the world, but she's got the coolest accent you've ever heard. So I'm going to introduce Susan Leeming, ask her to come up and speak for us. Everyone, please give a big Relay for Children welcome for Susan Leeming.
Sorry, I'm so out of breath. I'm totally unfit and I have to run to the restroom. Alright, first of all, I would like to say a huge thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Huge thank you to Lisa for sending me her famous emails and asking me to be here tonight. Such an honor and a privilege to be in front of you. So, here we go. Yes, I am a little nervous. I will try to speak slow so that you understand the crazy accent thing too. Okay. You have cancer. Quite possibly the most terrifying and life-changing 3 words that anyone can hear. My name is Susan Leeming, and in January 2015, I was the recipient of those 3 delightful words. Words I never thought I would hear myself. We always think it will never happen to us. I was that person. I would say I was a moderately healthy 37-year-old, a little fitter than I am today, with no history of breast cancer in my family. I wasn't exactly blessed with ample breasts my whole life. It was a complaint of mine, so I never even thought breast cancer was on my radar. But sure enough, after finding a lump just before Christmas and having the necessary testing done, I received a phone call where I was told I had invasive ductal carcinoma, breast cancer. My life was to forever change. Up until this point, my life had certainly not been without adventure, even drama. I feel I have accomplished quite a bit in my life, but this had to be the biggest accomplishment ever. I had to become a survivor. I had to be able to list my roles as wife, mother, daughter, friend, business owner, esthetician, and survivor. And after 9 surgeries, 6 Taxotere treatments, 6 paraplating treatments, and 52 septum treatments over 18 months or so, I can finally proudly call myself a survivor. So my journey, pretty much like anybody who is ever diagnosed with cancer, was a roller coaster of emotion, as I'm sure you can imagine. I went through shock, anger, despair, confusion, and yes, even times of clarity and even happiness. The biggest question I think anyone ever has is, why me? What have I done to deserve this? And the fact is, cancer doesn't care who it strikes. How old you are, how successful you are, how much money you have, or what a good person you are. It just strikes. I too ask that question over and over again, and a good friend of mine, who is also a survivor, told me, this is not from the devil. This is a blessing from God. You will have a positive outcome from this diagnosis soon, and then you'll be able to help others. He hasn't given you a death sentence, but he has given you this to be a messenger, to share your story, inspire, and give strength to other women that may follow you. At the time, that was hard to hear. That was really hard to hear. I couldn't understand where it was coming from. It was something I couldn't comprehend at all. But after months and months of fighting, I now, as I said earlier, I have clarity. I understand now what she was telling me. I do see the blessings through the rough. I've seen so much generosity and so much compassion from others that it's made me want to be a better person too. And now today I feel incredibly honoured and humbled to be stood here in front of you all as a survivor and representing my team, IC Phoenix. And if by me being here today encourages just one more person to relay, or one lady to get a mammogram, my journey was worth every step, and my friend's message to me has come true. So when you're raising children, people have always used the phrase, it takes a village. Well, in my opinion, fighting cancer takes a small city. It takes a team of doctors with all of their medical knowledge to put together a treatment plan. A group of nurses that are truly angels. A family that can help carry you through the tough times. My husband, Dan, and my children, Izzy and Ronan, and my parents were the biggest reason for me fighting. And I happen to live in a phenomenal community. A community that opened up their arms and hearts and embraced my whole family, providing meals and fundraising for us, and generally just being there for every single one of us. Even the toughest people, though, have their down days. My woe is me days, and they need to throw their own pity party at times, and that's okay. I had those days. I was terrified of the chemo I was about to have pumped into my body. I saw buckets one day on the way to the oncologist's office, angry, scared, and adamant there was no way was I getting chemo. My doctor was so patient with me though, and she explained my prognosis with and without chemo. Kind words, but words I needed to hear. A few days later, I was laying in a hospital bed, attached to bags of poison that would save my life. But although I had come to terms with what I needed to do to survive, it was still frightening. And when you live through a traumatic experience, your brain often suppresses memories that are disturbing to you until you are mentally in a place where you can handle the emotions that it will engage. I have so many instances from last year that are still a blur. This day, however, is a very clear, vivid memory. This day, like I said, I was still a little scared, despite my husband Dan holding my hand and my angel nurses floating around me, doing everything they could to make me feel comfortable. Then out of nowhere, a little voice came through my doorway asking for Susan Leamy. A lady came in from American Cancer Society, and she knew my whole story. She had taken the time to read whatever notes she had, or to listen to someone as they gave her details about my diagnosis. She came through that door with a plethora of information for me, neatly organized, so I could learn more about everything I was faced with. She gave me a handmade hat in preparation for me losing my hair. She gave me information on classes that were available to myself and my family, and support groups that I could join. Now, this small gesture of kindness was huge to me. I knew I had a small city fighting with me, but for a total stranger to show such care and concern was unbelievably touching to both Dan and myself. And for some reason, that effort of seeking me out that way made me feel less alone. And even though I had all of these amazing people around supporting me, you can still feel lonely, because nobody truly knows what you're going through. Nobody truly knows how it feels. So after my treatment that day, Dan and I went to the American Cancer Society office at the hospital. We saw this lady again. We thanked her for her time, and we had so much fun trying on wigs and hats, and the society gives these to patients, as we heard earlier, should they need one. I didn't, but I was astounded that they provide this service, knowing how much my wig cost me. But worth every penny. So my treatment started in May. This was the beginning of May. The relay was sometime in early June. This day when I met this lady, I knew that I wanted to do something worthwhile. I'm a person, as everybody knows me, all my friends know me, that likes to stay busy, and I do things very, very, very last minute. So despite going through chemo during these weeks, I knew we could put together a team and raise funds to help others. And so Feisty Phoenix was formed. And my family, we were a huge soccer family. In fact, soccer is what brought Dan and I to America 18 years ago, and I still have an accent, so yeah, 18 years we've been here. So having grown up with such an intense team sport, I know a game of soccer cannot be won by one person. There might be one person that scores the glory goal, but it takes a whole team working together to pass the ball, defend, and drive forward for that goal to be scored. Well, our team is like that. I am only stood up here in front of you all today because I'm the captain of the team. But we are a team, and I wouldn't be stood here without each and every team member being behind me 100%. In 2015, when Feisty Phoenix was formed, our friends joined the team I know from me. They pretty much all walked from me, And when you're going through something, people always want to help you in whatever way they can. And so I know this was an extra way that our friends could show their support for what I wanted to do. So yes, I was the driving force behind Feisty Phoenix to begin with, but this team has now become something much more than me. During that first relay, we had over 100 people come out and walk for us. We had men, women and children. People come and walk for an hour or two or stay for the whole 24 hours. I initially had a hard time explaining to my children that I had cancer. Izzy was 6 and Ronan was 5 when I was diagnosed. And up until 2013, as a family, we've been incredibly lucky, as cancer had not targeted anyone in our small family circle. In 2013, however, my auntie was diagnosed with terminal colon cancer, and she lost a brave battle in May 2015. My kids knew she had cancer and knew she was going to die. So telling your 5 and 6-year-old that their mommy has cancer was tough. I didn't want them to think I'd been given a death sentence too. So starting a relay team was also a positive way to educate our children further in cancer, how we can support others and teach them about humanity. All of our children in our team have learned this valuable lesson. They look forward to the relay every single year. They camp out with us, think of new ideas, how they can raise extra money. This year we had leapfrogging around the track. We had 3-legged races and things around the track. And this year my daughter, Izzy, who is now 8, she walked 26 miles around that track. More than me. She kept telling her to stop, take a break. And she did not want to stop because she was walking for people that had cancer. So the relay is such a fun lesson for our children to learn how to be caring to others and give back. And as a parent raising a child in today's society, I find it such a blessing that we can introduce this into their lives in such a fun way. So I just would like to touch on a few little things, because as we have been raising money for Relay, I've come across some negative vibes about where the money goes for charities in general, and even backbiting, that we're only doing it for ourselves so we can post that selfie on social media. So firstly, I chose American Cancer Society to give back to because I saw with my own eyes what they can offer for patients and families that goes way beyond research. It was touched on earlier tonight: support with classes, counselling, travel, hotel rooms. Now I'm in the beauty industry, and even with all of my knowledge of how to apply makeup, I still appreciated the classes that helped with how to wear a wig, how to tie a headscarf, how to apply makeup when you have no eyebrows or no eyelashes. So those small things gives a lady so much more self-confidence, and suddenly when I was wearing my costume, it was me again. Not a cancer patient, and not a chemo victim. So the selfie issue. Oh my goodness. Post those selfies! Have fun on the day. That's what Relay is all about. Having fun and coming together as a community while you raise awareness and money to help others. Celebrate your accomplishments as a relayer and know that you have done it for such a wonderful cause. So as a team leader, I encourage or bully, be it what you may, all of our team members to dress up. We wear tutus because in my opinion you can never have enough tulle. We have crazy headdresses, we have matching t-shirts, crazy eyelashes or stick-on mustaches. We have team camaraderie because of this. We have unity on the track. We sing, we dance. 24 hours is a long time to keep walking around a circle. It's important to have fun while you do it. And because we do, our team members, especially the kids, ask me, where's Relay? What's our theme this year? What are we going to wear? We haven't figured it out yet, but we will. So our team Relay began with a little lady showing care for a stranger, a need for a cancer patient to give back and keep in mind of what she was going through, a community of friends, co-workers, family and neighbours that wanted to help their friend through her fight. But now it has grown to be so much more. It's our annual event to give back. It's our social time to catch up with friends as we walk around the track. It's a lesson out of the classroom for our children. It's a part of our life within our community. And ironically for me, what began as other people walking for me has now become in my heart, me walking for them. I relay every year for the people in my life that have had to fight cancer. For my Auntie Gina, that lost her fight with colon cancer. For my father-in-law, Matt, who is a bladder cancer survivor. For my Uncle Terry, who was a prostate cancer survivor. For our friend Shannon, who lost her battle to colon cancer. For my friend Kelly, who was a breast cancer survivor and helped me so much along my journey. For my friends and family, that God forbid you were ever recipients of those 3 words. I have cancer. I know that I have given back so that they too can have the support that I once had. For my children and their friends that one day may see a cure for the disease, but have the strength in others, but have seen the strength in others fighting and surviving, that they have the knowledge to help others and cope if they are ever dealt with this ugly hand. This year, I will walk for Camry Ross, a beautiful 16-year-old girl whose life was